So got a couple things on my agenda today. One of them is to share with you a new glue that I've been trying out. This comes from Imagine Crafts, and it is called On Point Glue. Now, full disclosure, they sent it to me to try out, and I may be teaching a class at the Craft and... Do you hear that crinkling? Those cats, seriously. I may be teaching a class at the Craft and Hobby Association trade show, which is now AFCI, next January. But anyways, they sent me this stuff to try out. If you guys remember, what was that stuff called? Not Studio Glaze, but they had another product that was like a glaze medium. I'm forgetting what it's called right now, but it came in this little fine tip. And I'm like, I love those little fine tips because, let me show you this tip, okay? I'm gonna hold it up like this so you can see. Look how fine that little wee tip is. But you see that little fine needle right there? That means that every time you go to put the cap on the glue, you can put, this is hard to do. There we go. But you put that on there, and now you know that your nozzle is not going to get clogged up. So one more time, this is the On Point glue. It comes in a 1 fluid ounce bottle, which is about 30 milliliters. It has that super nice precision point to it, and it has the anti-clogging feature. Now it says this is an all-purpose craft glue, super fine, water-based, dries clear, and remains flexible. It has a moderate dry time. So one more time, there is that little teeny weeny point. Here is that pin that goes in, which is just super handy. And so what I did is I had this tag kind of ready to go, and I thought what I would do is show you how I can glue this down. And with this, yes I can. You guys, okay, it's grainy, but you can see it. Look how teeny weeny I can get those little dots. They are barely even dewdrop crystals on leaves in the morning. There's my noisy cats again. Okay. But you see how I can get these little teeny weeny itsy bitsy drops of glue, which will be more than enough to hold it down. But at the same time, you know, not so much that it's going to squish it out and make a god-awful mess. Okay? You can see those little wee drops, and they're slightly cloudy, which tells me that it's wet. So I'm going to go ahead now and apply like so. I'm going to zoom it back out so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put this down on top and kind of rub it down. A little does go a pretty good way. So normally I would use a piece of parchment, but I didn't have one on my table for this. And I just kind of rubbed it down like so. Now, I'm just going to use my little handy dandy scissors and trim that right out of the way. I think you can see I smushed a little bit of it out. But I can also kind of just use my finger and like smooth it out a little bit. But I feel like this is a very delicate die cut, and I love it when I can get a good adhesion like that with just little teeny drips.
For this next segment, what I'm going to do is actually speed things up a little bit, and I'm going to use the On Point glue to write with and then use some glitter on top. I'm doing 2 samples here. I'm writing the word love twice. The first time, I think I squeezed the bottle too hard and it was a little gloppy. So I did it again because, you know, learning curves. But as you can see, once you add the glitter, you really can get a nice kind of thin line, and it holds the glitter beautifully. By the way, this is again a traditional type of glue, so it goes down wet and then it dries completely. It doesn't dry sticky, so you can't use it in that fashion. So the next thing I'm going to do here is just add a few little dots on the top of this tag to make some little twinkly spots in the sky. And once again, you can see just how fine and the small little dots that you can get with this. I'm really not aware of another kind of free-flowing product that isn't a ballpoint where you can get these little teeny weeny dots.
Okay, so I'm just wrapping up here with this look at this mixed media tag. I used the on-point glue for all of the elements in this. So we're going to do a little tug test to see how it actually performs. So I started with this piece of vellum which I had stamped, and as you can see it wrinkled a little bit. So this does have a high enough water content that you might want to be careful. Now it didn't show through. The good news is it didn't show through, but when I was layering things on I did get a little bit of wrinkling, just so you have that. I also attached these sequins, and sequins can be tough because sometimes they like to pop off, but I'm flicking these with my fingernail and they are holding pretty well. Great, I like that. I also adhered this resin piece, and again I'm giving it like a nice firm flick with the fingernail, and it's not coming off. I'm even, do a little this, and it isn't even coming off. Well, that's good. Okay. So again, that's surprising to me because usually something like resin, it has a smooth back. It does not want to stick very well. As you can see, I did this little lace doily and layered. I did this wood element. This is a wooden bead, and it's holding pretty well. I did the little quilled heart, and by the way, if you like quilling, this is a great glue because it is clear. All you need is just a little teeny tiny drippy drop to hold your quilling together. And as you can see, it holds it down. And then here's another element that I'm always a little nervous about. I'm worried about metal. And then lastly, the piece of burlap here on the bottom, actually it's like a heavy canvas. It is also adhering pretty well. I just kind of like did a little zigzag motion. So I'm actually really surprised and pleasantly surprised at how well it held down some of these elements like the metal and the resin pieces. So we're gonna file this under pretty awesome sauce. Now, one last thing I just want to bring out to you or show you is actually how the cap works, because I have a tendency to unscrew the cap the wrong way. So when you first get it, there is like a little plastic seal over the top, so make sure you take that off, and then you have the cap that actually has the little tip here. That's the first bit. And then you have like a protective nib that goes on top. And this is what I have a tendency to accidentally remove. But that way all you see is this little portion here. And then the cap has the pen in it like so. And this is sometimes the most challenging part of my day, which is just getting the pin into the hole and then screwing it shut. Like so. So you also can see I have a tendency to, when I unscrew the cap, I take the whole thing off with it. So that is just a little thing that makes sure you hold this part down so you're only unscrewing the top cap. But if that's the biggest difficulty that we have with this product, is that it takes good eyes or your readers to get the little pin back in the hole so that you can have clog-free crafting, then actually I'll take it. There you go. See? I'm just showing you in real time. The struggle is real, people. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this demo and overview of the On Point Glue by Imagine Crafts. Clear, transparent, wonderful precision tip, and holds really well. Pleasantly surprised. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this demo and overview of On Point Glue. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you feel the need to give it a thumbs down, please tell me below in the comments why. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing, and have a crafty day.